Right. Hello and welcome, appeal managers, and welcome to the Zonal Weakness brought to you by Vanu Football Fantasy, powered by Fantasy Football Scout. Today, on the other side, I have Sankalp joining me all the way from India. Welcome, Sankalp. How are you?
All good. Enjoying football. Had a
Uh,
good match yesterday. I thought would pull your leg slightly.
yeah. No, I know. Some people were really thinking about me while they were watching the match, and I could see like one of my cousins sending me a message at the end, and he has this very unique dialogue that we often use when Arsenal plays Manchester United. You'll get it, but some of the
Okay.
viewers might not get it. It's a dialogue from one of the Hindi comedy films. Yeah, and so he kind of every time he uses that every time the Arsenal scores a goal against Manchester United, he always tends to use it. So yeah, when I woke up the next morning, I didn't check my messages. I woke up next morning and I just checked it, and I was like, okay, there you go, and I could understand like okay where things have gone. But anyway, yeah, set pieces have done the damage. I can say, but besides that, I was quite
Uh,
yeah.
Good performance overall.
Yeah, overall, I was quite happy with the way they played and everything. I think the match was pretty competitive, at least in my point of view.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, but yeah, how's your game going so far? Captain Palmer or Salah?
Captain Palmer, so 59 points. I think it's okay. I missed on Gabriel's return, so I was he started. So eighth Nuri comes in for me at 0 points.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Oh,
Let's
I
hope.
got Hall. I got Hall, so it's okay. It's 1 point. Yeah, it's not much, but it's how honest work. No, but yeah, I mean, Madueke has seems to be the problem for Palmer. Yeah, this is an open shot last week, and then this week 2 assists. Anyway, it just goes on, and Salah. This, I mean, that man is in ridiculous form. I don't know. I'm losing out of superlatives to actually describe his particular form currently. So I think I'm not going to go into that one. But anyway, audience, thank you so much for all the love that you're expressing and showcasing on our zonal weakness. We really appreciate it. It's just the view is just increasing, and I think our hard work to an extent is finally paying off. We are to an extent getting a little bit of recognition. I would say that's good to know. But anyway, let's get started. Sankar, this is Game Week 15, zonal weakness. And before we get it started, it's please do give us a follow, a like on our Facebook page, and of course subscribe to our YouTube channel because we are producing regular content. Besides the zonal weakness, there is a loads of information that we are sharing on Twitter and Facebook and also on YouTube. So do give us a follow on all the channels. Yeah, and all the data that you see are from the Fantasy Football Scout members area. And yeah, if you are interested, then click in the link in the description below and you would get a 40% discount. Um, and yeah, access to all the data that you need, including the zonal data, but all the data that we tend to share are all from the Fantasy Football Scout membership area. So yeah, hurry up. Don't wait. Let's move on. And here is the table for the Game Week 15. Let's see how it looks like. I mean, there it is. Yeah. So over to you, Sankar.
Perfect. I think we'll start with the team in form and the player in form, right? Liverpool going away to Everton, and it's going to be tricky because these fixtures generally are very low scoring ones, and you can see when the zonal weakness is not really highlighting any of the players from Liverpool. So Mo Salah is down to ninth place. The central area is not really looking good, and the same is for the right flank as well. Right? So this might be the week for one of those weeks where we can actually have some confidence going into the game week with a differential captain, but you never know, right?
Are you
Next up
sure?
we have. I'm never sure with more team players, right?
Yeah, I think the current game week itself speaks. So yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
go
yeah.
on, please.
We keep taking punts, but it's not working out, right? More is more. We see one player who might come back to form this week, which is City, who are going to Crystal Palace, right? Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne both are being highlighted by zonal weakness. Kevin De Bruyne obviously had a really, really good game at home yesterday, and like he said last week, this seems like after a long time he's playing without pain. So you might see something good coming out of one of these players. At the same time, off the left flank, we can see someone like Savinho or Bernardo Silva in case we're feeling punty. These guys can be the creator for someone like Haaland or Kevin De Bruyne to, finish in the goals. Arsenal Fulham traditionally has not been a great fixture for us. I'm hoping for some sort of revenge factor coming into play, but uh, I think Kai Havertz is slightly better compared to Saka or Martinelli or Trossard, either of the wings. And other than that, I don't see anyone else being highlighted. Right. So if you're on Saka and looking for a differential captain, think about it a bit more right before you go there. Up next, we have Chelsea and everyone's favorite, Jackson Palmer duo. Unfortunately, they are not top, when it comes to Tottenham. It's actually the right flank which can do damage for Tottenham, which is Neto, Sancho. Right, these are the players who are actually looking good as well. And Neto, especially with his pace, trickery, can do a lot of damage to Spurs. Uh, Up next, we have Brighton. Brighton are actually playing well, and a lot of us have almost doubled up on the attackers. I think most of us have Pedro now, and I can see a lot of FPL managers going for Mitoma or Rutter. Today we have the second match, so we will get a bit more info there. But we can see very clearly Welbeck slash Pedro, up there at the top against Leicester City, and I think this can be a really, really good game for Brighton as a whole. The attack is looking much better now, well gelled. They understand how to create patterns, And Rutter, in fact, I was watching the last match. He was playing so well. Missed on a haul. I know Mitoma got the points, but Rutter could have got twice the points of Mitoma. That's the kind of chances that he was getting into. And this
Yeah.
is a week where we feel that will continue. The zonal weakness is highlighting it again to Rutter. Right. Uh, Watkins finally a goal and assist. Right. He's looking like the fixtures create form. Right. So it feels like Villa has the possibility of doing that for the next few weeks. He's up there at the third place. Both Watkins as well as Rogers, and I think both are doing well now. Right. Even if you look at the left flank, and in case you are looking for some sort of changes in your defense, be it Gabriel's injury, be it someone like Rico Lewis, who's no longer starting. I think Digne can give you a good option, good alternative with the fixture swing and with the zonal weakness highlighting him as well. Right. And even if you look at crosses considered, and Digne is really, really good crosser, he's getting highlighted here. Right.
Mm. Right.
Next, we have, I think Sack Derby, something like that. West Ham playing both the teams, I think, not looking great. But with Wolves, at least one thing is for sure good is their attack is much more settled than West Ham's is, and Kuna has been in such terrific form so far, right? And he's again out there really shown upon by zonal weakness, both Kuna as well as Aith. So in case you have either of these players, I think it's anyone who's facing either West Ham or Wolves attackers, you should generally go for it because chances are it becomes another free flowing match with a lot of goals, right? So both the wings are actually looking good. Larson, unfortunately, is not really high. So if you have someone like Kuna, Ethnuri, or Semedo, in fact, go for it. Right. Similarly, when we look at Bournemouth, and Bournemouth have been playing well for the last few weeks now, and the penalty king Kluivert, unfortunately, Kluivert is not high this time. So in case you want to punt and go high, hold back a bit, right? But someone like Tavernier, Kekes, they're actually playing well. Semenyo is really high on zonal weakness this week, this game week. So let's see if he's able to capture back some of his form and get us some points as well.
Right. I mean, Semenyo, to be honest, has been a bit of I don't know, um,
Disappoint.
hidden, not really disappointing. I can't say that. But it's more like he's kind of playing in a hide and seek game with us. Tough fixtures, he's going and scoring. Easy fixture, he's either getting a yellow card, getting suspended, or he's missing chances and not in the score sheet. I mean, yeah. Anyway, over to you with the next slide. Yeah. I mean, if I go on a rant, I mean, sorry, this pod will not finish. That's why.
Yes. So I think up next is Newcastle, who have come off for really, really strong performance against Liverpool. Right, might have even won the match at the end. Unfortunately, the whistle blew. But Isaac is looking good. He is looking fit. Doing well. Even Gordon is highlighted really strongly. In the match against Brentford. So, and Brentford defense has not settled this season, entire season. They have
No.
considered a lot, and I think I remember a few weeks back we were talking about. The central areas. Brentford have been consistently conceding a lot in central areas, and zonal weakness has always highlighted this for the last few weeks, right? So if you have Isak, great option for this game week. Gordon, if you're looking for a transfer, say you're looking to ship Mbumo, I think Gordon can be a very good alternative in a similar price range for you guys. From the flanks, I think Hall uh, can be a uh, can be a good creative option for Gordon, for Isaac, depending on who's there at the central areas. At the same time, I think Livermore or Murphy, both the flanks are looking good. So it seems Brentford concede a lot from the flanks as well, a lot of crosses, and it depends on who is able to end up at the end of the crosses. Right? On the other end, if you look at Brentford going to Newcastle, Visa has been in good form, and he remains a viable attacking option for this week. Mbumo is actually not bad for this week. If you look at the zonal weakness, he's up there at the sixth rank, so it's not bad at all. But so far, eye test wise, the last 3-4 weeks, it feels like Brentford have changed things a bit. Right, earlier they were dependent a lot on the ball flowing via Mbumo. I think they've tried to bring some diversity into the attack, and that's showing in the kind of returns that Mbumo is giving nowadays. Right. Um, West Ham facing Wolves. Unfortunately, zonal weakness is very clear. None of them are coming out strongly. Right, it's just a matter of whether we see some sort of reaction post these performances. When it comes to crosses, Bowen though in fact is a bit high, and I see a lot of Bowen owners over the last week, and I would say a bit unlucky as well this game week, right? So you
Yeah.
might keep your fingers crossed with those crosses, and maybe someone like Antonio or Suchek, going towards the end of it, right? Um Spurs versus Chelsea. I was a bit surprised. I thought someone will be highlighted, but no one is so far. From a rank point of view, we can see Madison, especially his performance over the last few weeks, and Son, both are slightly higher on the Spurs asset compared to Solanke, who we have been observing is not as involved in the attack. But Johnson remains a good threat, I would say, because he's able to get it towards the end of those crosses, and he's been quite regular for Spurs attack, converting over the last 6 to 8 weeks, right? When we look at United going to Forest, Forest have been a good defense this season, but we do. I think Ahmad is expected to start again after being rested against Arsenal because of the short fixture turnaround. And if he starts, he's there on the crosses considered, and he looks to create a lot of chances. I really like the player, so Ahmad can be a good alternative. Depending on central area who starts, Holland or Rashford. I think Holland might start again, but you never know. Rashford
Mm.
was rested as well this weekend, so if in case he comes back, they are also not rated low. So Garnacho, Holland, Rashford, these are good punty, assets to have, and they can do well. Especially, I think this game is again at Old Trafford, right? So that is going to be an advantage for them. If you look at Nottingham Forest away to United, they are not shining anymore. I think with Forest, our focus has always been on the defense. With attack, it's a one-man wood show so far. But he's really low when it comes to zonal weakness. That is there on the 17th place, not really highlighted so far. But Aina is slightly better, and I know Aina's ownership has been increasing a lot over the last few weeks. And I think if you have him, you perhaps play him for this week as well. Right. Next up, we have Leicester going against Brighton. Leicester did a really, really great performance against West Ham yesterday night, and you can see someone like I think Left flank is where Brighton have a bit of a bias, a bit of issue, and you can see someone like Justin Buonanotte. Buonanotte has been in good form. I do remember seeing some sort of flag on Buonanotte, so I'm not sure whether he's fit or not. Maybe we can check on it, but
Mm,
he's been
yeah.
playing really well for Ipswich, for Leicester, sorry, and can be a viable alternative in case he's playing. Right? One of those cheap options. Wardy is can be a favorite because when it comes to header conceded, he's there in the second rank, right? So Wardy mania might continue again against Brighton. Last, we have Palace against City. As you can expect, the zonal weakness is not really highlighting any of the players. Uh, those central areas, they do concede a bit. City does concede, and we have seen City have a habit of conceding at least one goal, somehow or the other. Right? If that happens, someone like Mateta, who's generally the starting option, can be a good option. And both Sar as they are actually really talented attacking players. So if you have them, maybe you play them and hope for the best, but they are not really high on the zonal weakness.
Right. Okay. Then let's do one thing. Let's get to the team of the week, and then we can see what it is. And this is the last section, and after that we can conclude.
Yeah.
Over to you, Sankal.
Yeah, most of these players we have highlighted in our discussion so far. Pedro, really high from the central areas. Haaland, Isak, Semenyo for this week. Kevin De Bruyne along with Haaland, looking good. Parma Salah have been Parma Salah, so I think uh, they'll come into every team of the week. And then you have someone like players like Kekes, Ait Nouri, Hall, and some goalkeeper to go with.
Well, well, that's that then. Thanks so much, Sankal, for taking through. The two slides for. I mean, covering 16 teams is not easy. Sorry, looks easy to us, but actually it's not. But thank you so much for joining, and of course, hope you still have the game week 50 or 14 running. I'm already in 15, but anyway, because I'm forward to seeing you again in the uh, Gimmick 19, perhaps. But yeah, we'll be in touch. And yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for joining and to keep us supporting and share the video as much as you can. Until then, we see you next week. Bye bye.